Hi there. This video is all about overwhelm and really how to become a master at overwhelm. If you are like me and you are a overdoer, a type A, gotta get it done, superwoman in the making, or maybe even superwoman veering on burnout, then listen into this video because I'm going to give you 5 strategies or 5 steps really on how to navigate that dance we tend to play where we're teetering on or diving right into the experience of overwhelm. My backstory is I have run the course and beyond of overwhelm and willpower into the place of, well, I found the bottom, I think. I literally ran my body almost to the ground, to the point where I almost died from it. I had just been in this wave, and by wave I mean maybe a decade and a half of constant push, do more, dig deeper, go harder, create more, just get it done, drive. And while that brought me a lot of success and accolades and outward check the boxes, I was running my body into the ground. I was really working against my body instead of with it. And overwhelm is something I knew often because overwhelm just meant, okay, I've pushed my threshold to its limit, so maybe back it off a little bit and function just underneath overwhelm. So I would dance that line often, and I would fall victim to what goes beyond overwhelm into full-blown just can't handle it. And I'd have to find a way to wrangle myself again. And so I can tell you I have been there and through and to the bottom, and it's not something you want to linger in very long. So instead of assuming the overwhelm's gonna just go away and you're just gonna turn off the willpower and suddenly just go easy, that was not realistic for me. And so I'm guessing if you're tuned into this video, it may not be realistic for you. So instead, what I recommend is get really good at overwhelm. Get really good at recognizing when you've just bit off a little bit more than you can chew and you've taken on just a few too many things, and how do you wrangle it back to stay in that towards posture of get it done, but allow yourself to really be productive again and get to present. Because one of the things that's actually happening with your brain is your brain's a really great time traveler, meaning constantly allowing you to kind of ping back to past experience to future predict what's about to come. And in doing that, it's a mechanism of the brain that really helps us survive and navigate the rough waters of life at times. And when we take on a lot of things, it's a way to try and streamline our effort. However, that can work against us, because if our brain is time traveling, meaning in the past somewhere to predict the future somewhere, it's not actually present. And so one of the things that we need to do first and foremost is recognize when we're stepping into that place of overwhelm, meaning we've either taken on too much, we're trying to take on too much at once, or we're not actually in the present moment because our brain is either past or future jumping us. We're jumping the timeline. So that self-awareness of just noticing, I'm in the overwhelm something. And if you tune to this, it has a pretty specific signature to it. I'm in the overwhelm something. You can even give it a color or texture if you like. I just need to breathe first. And this, just getting awareness and breathing reclaims yourself. Instead of your limbic brain trying to do its thing, it just brings you back to kind of a holistic or a higher level of self. And so you become more conscious in the moment. So tuning to your breath takes you from scrambling in your brain and your attention and ruminating or paralysis analysis, and it shifts your attention very narrow and internal, deeper in your body. It also simultaneously allows that breath, when you deepen the breath and extend the breath and really focus on your breath mechanics, it calms the nervous system. So all of the chaos that thinking is doing down into the body, focusing on your breath actually starts to create an entry point of regulating and calming the system even before you've been able to really even calm your mind. So you're kind of just going into the body and saying, whoa, let's pump the brakes, let's slow down, let's get a little bit present and just breathe. The second step is what leads you into getting actually present. The breath, just tuning there, is just that break state. Getting present may actually require, depending on how far into overwhelm you are, may require a little bit of effort or deliberate practice. One that I like to use, one we actually use with soldiers in the military often, it's called 3 by 3 by 3. So when you tune to your breath and you're getting yourself really truly present in the moment and out of whatever chaos is happening in the mind, 3 by 3 by 3 is that you state 3 things that you see outwardly in your environment, and it's basically point, lamp, carpet, wall. That's simple. You just see and label 3 things visually that you see externally. You label 3 things that you can hear externally. You're seeing a pattern here. Get external. And 3 things that you can feel, not emotionally, but physically, like tactically. I feel the shirt on my back. I feel the breeze from the fan. I feel the temperature of the room, okay? Or I feel my toes in my shoes. So you're just naming 3 things that you see, 3 things that you hear, and 3 things that you can kinesthetically feel. This pops you out of whatever is happening, wherever you were in space and time and in your brain, back into the present moment, into your body. And if you're stacking that with the breath, it really brings you into presence. Once you're here and you've grabbed the reins and you've wrangled yourself back into present, you've created a pause for whatever the task or thing that you are about to do. So step 3 is about space. Okay, if you're in overwhelm, it means there's a chaos, there's a lot of things happening for you all at once. So once we've gotten our breath and gotten to present, now we actually need to clear the screen, clear the space, wipe everything off the desk or whatever is happening for you. Just cleanse the screen, clear the space, even if it means physically. If you do happen to have a lot of books and things happening, maybe just move stuff aside and get really clean and clear with your space. I find even just saying a mantra sometimes can just sort of clear the screen, clear my mind, trust all of the things are gonna be there. Or if I have to parking lot, if you have I have to remember these in my mind, write them, just jot them down to clear the space out of your mind. So clearing space is number 3. So we've got breath, we've got get present, we've got clear space. Number 4 is to create a container. Okay, so in this space that I have right now, physically and in my mind, also time-wise, can I create a window in 30 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever I need to do, I'm gonna do it in that amount of time. So if I am overwhelmed because I have to create this outline for this new course that I'm gonna create, okay, I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes and I'm gonna get it done in 30 minutes by just setting a timeline. Or I have 5 different tasks that just got put on my plate. Okay, I'm gonna take task 1 and I'm gonna complete that in X container time frame. Then I will move to task 2. Then I will move to task 3. So now that you've cleared space, you can create the container for what is the next immediate thing that you're going to do. Which leads us to number 5, which is the focused action. So you've cleared the space, you've identified the container, and now what is the thing you're gonna do in that container? And something that I like to ask myself often, especially if I'm dancing with overwhelm, is what is the smallest action that will make the biggest difference? Okay, this is really important languaging. What is the smallest action, meaning easiest, least amount of effort, something I can cross off easily, that will make the biggest difference. So it's not just something easy, but something impactful and easy. So of all of these things that I'm sitting here with, what is the smallest thing that will make the biggest difference? And whatever comes to mind, that's your next immediate action step. And when you do that, you move, okay, what is the next immediate action step that I need to take? The smallest step that's going to make the biggest difference. Or you might already find you're getting a little bit of momentum. Okay, great, I've got one thing off my plate. Now, you may start back at step one, however you need to move through this process, but doing this slow at first will allow you to practice it, and then it'll come through quicker and quicker. However, I also will point out, when you're in overwhelm, sometimes slowing down is actually really, really good. More often than not, slowing down is really, really good. So even when you become really good and proficient at moving through these 5 steps, you still may do them slow, because it's giving yourself, your system, the ability to just be. And I say that because this whole process goes beyond productivity. And again, I speak from my personal storyline of I had worked myself almost to death and just pushed my body beyond its max. I was treating my body like a punching bag. And if you're in overwhelm and stress and anxiety often, you're doing some form of that too. You're leaving your body behind because you're not staying present in it. And all of those stress hormones are just spinning and spinning and spinning, and you're constantly hitting the stress button without recouping yourself. So the counterbalance to that is to slow down. And this provides safety to the body, to the process, puts you back in alignment. It creates space, it creates clarity, and it creates boundaries. And I have another video all about boundaries. If that one pings you a little bit, that word makes you a little, there's something there. Boundaries is a big one, and safety. So try this process out. If you like this, subscribe to my video. There are more videos like this, and I look forward to seeing you there.